2025. I already know it's gonna be such a powerful year. Hello from my new van setup here. So right now I moved over to this spot. I showed you guys maybe once already, like from afar I showed you, but right here in a few days we're gonna build like a roof cover up above, and it's gonna be really nice to have more of like a permanent place of my own to be. And we'll build like a little outdoor shower over there, put some lights up, plants growing up the roof thingy. It's really nice. It's such an interesting journey this human experience is. If you watch my videos, you would know that we've been talking about chaos a lot. Let me wipe the lens, it should be better. Not that you guys even noticed. Sometimes I'm like, it looks so dirty on my end, and then when I watch back, I'm like, you couldn't tell. So we've been talking about chaos, right? And this is actually the baby daddy of chaos. First here is Cash. The one behind him is Malachi. Malachi is the father of my baby horse on the way. And I've been here on this farm for 9 months now. I'm on my 9th month. I've been in Europe for since Halloween. And I have experienced so much since being here, so much in a different way than I thought, my time in Europe would be. And it's even more wonderful than I could have ever imagined. It's even more alive. Like, I think that's the best word. Like, I feel so alive being here in these days on this farm, like living pretty much outside, showering in my outdoor shower. Oh, I have to show you guys my new shower setup for the time being until we build the one in the roof thingy. And with the territory of living on a farm with a bunch of wonderful people, dynamic, diverse people from different cultures, different countries, like everyone is pretty much from a different country. Some of us, like a few of us, I think 3 of us, actually 4 of us right now are from the US, but different states. And, we have Israelis, we have just one Italian, we have Swedish, South African, some people from the UK, all over. It is a melting pot. It is such a unique environment for learning. And also, like, I don't know how to say this. I've felt not called to go to like Portugal and to go to like the spiritually emphasized communities because of many reasons, but really, number one, it's just not my calling right now. Number two, I feel like my experience with spirituality and with like energy healing and these kinds of things, not all the time, this is not all the time, but from what I've seen, this can be sometimes, is that people almost like gaslight themselves into ignoring what's actually going on, into ignoring the lessons that are unfolding in front of them. And when you don't have people who are like doing this, I guess, who have this tendency, then it's easier for you and another to mirror to each other the unhealed, unresolved parts of yourselves. But if you are creating resistance and blocking that part of yourself and they're doing the same, then, maybe you can't go there. And again, it's such a general thing. But what I love about being here is that because it's such a diverse place with so many different cultures and so many people from different countries and different patterns and neural pathways and neurons that have been fired together, different triggers, different trauma, different all these things, there are so many lessons. There's so many opportunities to go deeper. We always say there's never a dull moment here on the farm, which is true. And if there is, you know that like soon something unexpected is going to happen. I worked and lived in like on the hamster wheel for a while. I was working in a desk job, even though I was working remote often, and sometimes I would go into the studio and film and stuff, but often it was behind a desk, behind a computer. And I just felt like every day was Groundhog Day. It was like you could really count on the main influencer girl screaming at me at one point of the day. The rest of it you could count on like just like pretty standard stuff, like schedule a post, write the caption, make sure to like talk about the health benefits of the supplement, and it was like very routine. And I just felt like I wasn't growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. It's a brutal thing, but when I heard that one time, I was like, oh shit, like that's true. We need to be exercising our brain. We need to be exercising our experience. Like we need to be allowing ourselves to experience. And we don't just want to ascend, right? The goal is not to leave Earth and to ascend into the ethers. It's to bring the truth down here to Earth. And what is the truth? The truth is awareness. You are the awareness. That is you. And so you can experience the conflict, the contrast, the disagreement, the chaos, and the beauty, the laughter, the joy, the freedom, all with a sense of awareness. And when you do that, then you are setting yourself free. The only thing that holds you into limitation is holding on. It's holding on to how you want things to be, how you think things should be, and not allowing it to be what it is. It could be even better than you imagine if you just let go. And in the most literal example, like I let go of everything I owned except for 2 suitcases of stuff. Was it 2? Yeah, 2. And then like a small suitcase. And I moved here to Europe and I said, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I was like, I don't know. But I asked myself, I was like, what will I be most proud of when I'm older? When I'm old, looking back on my life, if and when I have that opportunity, and I'm reflecting, will I be most proud that I stayed in this comfortable setting, comfortable-ish setting of California, you know, a beautiful house that I was renting a room in, friends that I really love, but I was just like feeling like there was something more out there. I was really feeling called to van life. I was really feeling called to Europe. I was really feeling called to just like fucking around and finding out. Like it needed to happen, otherwise I was always going to wonder. And so I sold everything and I had those 2 suitcases. And so I literally let go. One of you left a comment today or yesterday, and I think it was on yesterday's video, and it was so beautiful the way that you explained it. It's like, it's something about a river flowing, and there's like crashing water at the end of it. And so everyone's holding on to the rocks, right? And so they don't want to like get washed away into the crashing water. They're afraid of what could happen. So they just hold on, but they're always wondering like what's at the end there. And so in the example, from what I remember, is one did let go and did go find out what was beyond the crashing water. And then the other people, you know, kind of didn't understand, couldn't relate with that person anymore. And that's also what happens. And I think all of this is going to play into 2025. And it's important to really start to notice we have a lot of big changes, a lot of huge changes. That's why, like, I've been making it a point to talk about the chaos that I'm perceiving, because I know you're perceiving chaos. Many of you are, maybe not you all, but many of you are to some extent experiencing the chaos. And the chaos is wonderful. The chaos is necessary. It creates beautiful things. It makes the space. And so it has to happen. The patterns have to shake up so that you can allow in the new. One of my other favorite examples of this is when I was in a really unhealthy relationship. It had just reached the point where like we obviously were not meant to be together anymore. We both, I know I felt it. I think he probably felt it to some extent, but he was holding on. And I went to a retreat in Florida with my mom. It was like a quantum manifestation energy healing retreat. And after I finished that retreat, was it the Florida one? Yeah, I think it was. And after I finished that retreat on the last day, we had 3 homes, so our place went up for sale. And so we were looking for another place urgently to move to. We got approved for 3 places, which was like a miracle because it was such a competitive market. And so we picked a place, and then we lost all 3 somehow, like in a day, because he just didn't go to the appointments and all these things. And then we broke up. And then I came home, and I didn't have a place to live in a few days. I was single for the first time in like 4 years. I, was just like, what the fuck? And then I also saw Arlo's face on a Facebook post in a Facebook group. And I was like, that's my dog. Like, I have to go pick up this puppy. Like, I have a strong feeling that dog is meant to be in my life, even though nothing makes sense right now. But I trusted it all. I made the space at that retreat. It's important to note this because at that retreat, I was exercising my free will. I was going into these meditations and these topics and things that we talk about here on this channel in my programs, where I was going into a non-attached state and I was choosing with my free will, everything that is for my highest good, and choosing to let go of the things that are not for my highest good, and choosing for signs and messages, and they were loud and clear. And the direction was also clear, even though it was unclear in ways too. The direction was clear that I needed to go get this puppy. So I got on a flight from California after I got back from Florida. I flew to Tennessee, Chattanooga, and however you say it. And Arlo was living in Alabama, so they drove him over to the border. I picked him up within 24 hours. I was on 4 flights because they were connecting flights, and I brought him home. And I got to my condo that I was living in and packed up all my stuff. My friends helped me move, and then we moved everything into a storage unit. And then I went to my mom's place up north in California, and I was like, I don't know where to live. We looked at a van, almost bought the van. The van didn't work out. And so everything was a question mark. Everything was chaos. But then it created such a beautiful thing, because 2 years later, I was living in Italy with my dog in a van, living the life that I was always dreaming of, always trying to convince my ex to do with me. But sometimes people are not meant to keep going with you. There comes a time when things are meant to split, and there's like one person needs to go one way and you need to go the other way. And that can be in friendships, that can be in relationships, like romantic relationships, that can be in jobs, it can be in so much. Sometimes you outgrow each other. Sometimes you outgrow the life that you were living in, and you have to let go. You have to make the space in order to be able to step into the new. You can't step into the new and bring the old with you. Your new life is going to cost you your old life. So, what is it that has been knocking on the door for a long time? What is it that you know you want, that you have been waiting for the opportunity to make it happen, to make it your reality? And then what do you have to let go of in order to have the space for that? I tried to be really proactive in this chapter of moving to Europe. There was nothing really, really wrong. The other example, I'll say it quickly, was I went to Kentucky right before I quit my job. And when I was in Kentucky, I shook up the patterns. The point of this is by traveling, by doing something new, by choosing, by, even just driving a new route home, you're shaking up the patterns. You're seeing things differently. And the things that aren't really solid and meant to be will not last. And so that's why travel is very, very important. But other things that shake up the patterns and pattern disruptors are huge as well. And so when I went to Kentucky to see my dad, that is when my job started randomly falling apart. And it was like all these new requirements of like coming in the office every day and then driving to LA once a week, which is 3 hour each way, and like being screamed at more by this person. I was like, no. I was like, I don't want this actually. And so I quit without another bridge to swing to. And so in what ways can we shake up the patterns? And if you don't know what has to go first and you don't know how to do it, your choice is the most powerful thing that you have. And so if you are ready, you can say this with me now. Say, I choose to let go of everything that is no longer serving me for my highest good. I choose to let go of everything that is taking up space and blocking me from having the life that I truly desire. I choose to let go of whatever is holding me back from having my most abundant, healthiest, happiest life. Thank you, and so it is. And then you wait for shit to maybe hit the fan. But you can also say, now, I choose that all this be done with ease and grace and human relativity. Thank you, and so it is. And then surrender. And then know that everything that starts shaking up around you is meant to shake up. You got to trust the process. And if you feel like you're being called to something that doesn't quite make sense right now, and other people are going to be like, what the fuck? But you feel it in your heart, in your body, in your bones. You're like, yes, this is meant for me. Like Arlo was meant for me. Even though I didn't know what was going to happen, where I was going to go, where I was going to live, how I was going to even afford the dog, because I was also thinking of quitting my job at that time. If you don't know, but you feel it's a full body, yes, it's a fuck yes, then maybe you need to go for it, right? You have to just trust the joy, the curiosity, those little sparks, and then you will get there. And you will look back in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, a decade, your lifetime, and you'll say, I'm so proud of that version of myself who trusted that unknown time, who allowed myself to let go of the things that were no longer serving me, who made the space, who made the leap, who didn't listen to what my friends and family said in their judgment that's rooted in love, because I learned to trust myself. I dedicated myself to trusting myself. And so you can have this experience. This is all up to you. 2025 is going to be a year of new. It is going to be a year of how do I say this? We're moving into this new earth energy, right? We're moving into this 5D energy. It's going to be this year of knowing yourself, of remembering your truth, of like leaping through timelines, because you're starting to decondition your mind. You're starting to remember how much potential you have and how you can have anything, be anyone, be anywhere, have as much money as you want, work as little as you want. It's all available to you. You can be your healthiest, happiest self. You can step into the reality that you choose by learning from what's in front of you and then looking at it, bringing the truth through, and just kind of learning the game of life, right? Every single person and experience that you are perceiving right now is a mirror of what's going on in you, of your patterns, your beliefs, your subconscious. And so if you don't like it, you gotta look at it and bring the truth through, and that will set you free. So, that was a good one. I keep breathing like my like really cold air into the camera, so hopefully that didn't look too foggy the whole time. Hi guys. Oh, in other news, I'm so excited, like I was saying, about the roof cover here. This is going to be such a fun new chapter. I'm really excited that light is being brought to the situation here on the farm that I've been telling you guys about. And, you know, systems like that can't last. Things that are not rooted in the truth cannot last. But if you bring the truth to it and bring awareness to it, like I did the other day, it has to start alchemizing. So just acknowledging things is the first step. And we have a fundraiser right now that I would love to tell you guys about, because it is a very special one, and it's like rooted in so much emotion. Because if you love animals, then these stories could be very I don't want to say warming, because they're like heart cooling. Like they're so sad. But we have 8 horses from Bulgaria and 1 horse from the UK that we are rescuing right now. They are all horses / ponies that have had very traumatic backgrounds. Liam is the one that I've talked a little bit about. He's from the UK, and so he's already owned by the farm owner here, but he's been boarded in the UK because he just doesn't like really travel well. He's not it really easily handled. And so for the time that the farm owners here were traveling around and saving animals throughout Europe, he couldn't come. And so when the farm owner bought him, he was told to be this like horse that he's not, like meant to have like these great bloodlines. I don't know exactly the details, but then he came and he was like so traumatized to the point where he couldn't be touched, and he was like scarred all over his body from a whip that had like the barb on it. And so he was just absolutely beat to, not to death because he's still alive, but alive in a way that like he cannot trust anyone. And so he needs to come back here because the person who's boarding him in the UK can't do it anymore. And so the options were either euthanize him or have him sent here. But the farm here is, the sale just went through like a few weeks ago, a month ago. And so it's really just getting off its feet. It's a nonprofit, it's a rescue, it's a sanctuary. And so there are quite a few debts that have to be paid off in order to like have that extra money to pay for transportation for rescuing more animals. But we have the space here, we have the passion here, we have the heart here, and it's hard to ever say no. So this one absolutely had to come here, but because the other option was just to be put down, like no one else was going to rescue him or anything. So someone fronted the money for that, but we have this fundraiser going right now so that we can pay them back, because it was just fronting. It wasn't like, like, here you go, because like they saw the urgency. So that fundraiser is going, and we just now blended it with the Bulgarian horses. The Bulgarian horses, you can read all about them in the GoFundMe link. There's quite a few that like I really resonated with. One is the one that has Lyme disease. And so this rescue horse had Lyme and had all like this very, very serious complications of Lyme, similar to Ladybug. And so Ladybug is the horse here that I first started fundraising for. You guys helped me raise the funds for her like within a few days. She had an insect-borne illness. I think it was a mosquito that potentially led to, whether we don't know if it was from the West Nile or from genetics, but she has wobblers now, so she's not able to compete. She's not a jumper anymore. She can't really be ridden. Only I or the farm owner here ride her every once in a while to help strengthen the rest of her muscles, but right now she's on maternity leave. So no one's riding her because she nearly kicked me off last time. So we're like, okay, you're communicating that you're done. So there's many horses that you can read about from the Bulgarian fundraiser, or part of the fundraiser, with their background of like why they're rescues and why, they were saved in the way that they were saved by this woman that has them right now. But the woman is dealing with breast cancer. She's just turned 70. She can't care for them anymore. And so we're trying to take her large animals off of her responsibilities, I guess, so that she could just have less and less to worry about. Her fear was, like, she's somehow connected to the farm owner. Her fear was that let me make sure we're still recording. If she passed away, that all these animals like wouldn't have a place to go. And so we're hoping that she has a longer, healthy life. But just in the case that things don't work out, we're trying to also like be prepared for the animals' sake. So we are raising the money to have them transported here as well, and to give them there forever a home, where some of them can be ridden and will enjoy being ridden. Horses do, for the most part, depending on the horse, but most horses do enjoy like the little trail rides that we do, and it will eventually help fund their care as well, because we will soon start inviting people for trail rides. And so we'll take them through the Italian countryside here, and that money will then go back into the nonprofit to feeding them and paying for all their incredible expenses, like their anti-parasite control and their hay and their medicine, their food and their feet and all the things. So if you want to read about those horses and ponies, go ahead and read below. Next year, Malachi, we will try and get the rest of her big animals from her. She has a cow, which I've seen cow therapy before. It's like people can come and like hug and cuddle with cows, and cows can be so healing and wonderful. So I would love if we could rescue that cow as well. And there's a few other horses, I believe. But right now we're getting the 8 horses from her and then Liam. And whatever is left of that fundraiser, if there's like any additional bits, because you guys typically, when I do fundraisers with you, you're so generous and we get over the amount that we need, that goes directly to the care of the animals here. So again, like the debts that we have here that the farm has, which is like the hay and the paying for the vet, the large and small animal, because we have 60 dogs here, we have 30 cats, we also have goats, we have donkeys, we have the horses, we have a henny, we have a mule. So we have quite a few animals here, which is a dream come true to be a part of and to be even sharing this message with you. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for being a part of this. The fundraiser is set to 10,000. I think we're maybe at 1,000 right now. And so I would love to really start getting the ball rolling on that so that we can bring these horses and ponies to their forever home. And if you want to sign up for one of my programs, I have 21 days to rewire your mind, 21 days to know your divine guidance, and my program Decondition, which starts on January 1st. It is a 12-week program with like so much in it. It will be sound therapy, guided meditations. It will be like our daily exercises that we have done in the other programs. The meditations, like there will be a whole library of them, and they're all targeted towards deconditioning your mind, because the only thing that's limiting you are the conditions that you believe are true about you. So this program will set you free so that you can live 2025 and the rest of your life in this limitless knowing state of how the quantum field works, how everything is possible, because everything is happening right now, and you can actually know that, rather than like knowing it for a second when you watch my videos and then starting your reality and going back into the patterns that tell you you're limited. So the program is set to set you free. So with all that being said, I am going to go put some warm socks on because I cannot feel my toes. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. I'm so grateful to be here with you guys. I love you so much. I'm so excited to show you the roof cover once it is done. Once we start building that, we're going to go do some painting right now. And super exciting stuff on the horizon. And lastly is when the roof cover is not just a roof cover, like it's a commitment. And it was a huge decision on my part, especially with all the stuff going on here on the farm with those 2 girls. And so it was like, do I want to stay or do I want to go? And every time I would explore the thought of leaving, it would just kind of crush me, because I feel like I'm so connected to being here right now, saving these animals with you guys, being on the farm, on the land in Italy. Like there's so much that I love here. I love waking up to Ladybug every day. I love, getting excited about chaos being born. I love seeing all the other horses that you guys help me rescue here, and all the other horses that you're gonna also help me rescue and that are gonna be here soon. That is like the most rewarding thing I could ever imagine. Like I would have never really thought that this was possible 2 years ago when I started really making that space. So it's such a dream come true. Well, 3 years ago now. So with that being said, once my roof cover is built and my fence is built and we've like installed more security here, which is like what we're planning on doing, I'm gonna start maybe blending the farm stuff more on my channel, like just connecting the dots a little bit more. Right now I don't do that for safety reasons and privacy. I mean, we have some incredible guard dogs here who would eat a human alive if they tried anything, but that just comes with the territory of sharing online, is that you have to be cautious about your safety. I used to work with a lot of influencers and content creators who had situations happen where, like, people broke into one of the girls' houses that I used to work with and she had to move, and so it's things like that where like safety is number one. And so as we, Aslan will be born, my guard dog, and we'll build the fence and we'll do all these different measures and everything and like kind of get everyone on board, then I'm so excited to start sharing like more about the farm and the actual farm and like showing you guys our content that I make over on the YouTube channel or like that we share on other platforms and like all the different projects that we have and the trail rides and inviting you guys. And this really has to happen because soon we're going to start building the wellness center that I'll run here, and then we'll have like retreats, and I want you guys to come to that. You are the main people I would invite to come to my wellness retreats. And so this roof cover is a symbol of the future, that like this next chapter that we're stepping into, and I'm so excited about it and I feel so centered about it, and I'm so grateful that I get to bring you along this journey with me. So that's all that I have for you today. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.